Hello ladies and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, igama lami sekonoandie Sikono. I talk about feminine energy, inner healing and becoming the best version of yourself so that you can live your best life. And if that is something that is interesting to you, please click the like button below and subscribe to my channel. Ladies, without wasting any time, let's dive in today's topic. 80% of the women 80% of women, they're all battling with depression, battling with a lot of depression, stresses. They are not feeling good about themselves because they most of the time they're not motivated about life. I've been there, where you feel like you are not motivated, where you feel like you are trying but nothing gets to be a success. You are not motivated, you're discouraged, you're just not feeling yourself, and that leads to depression, that leads to a lot of stresses and depression. And here is why I've been there, done that. I know how it feels. You must understand. I would like you to understand that you are not alone if this is how you feel. If this is how you are feeling, you're feeling like life is the same for you, year after year, month after month, no change, nothing, no growth, no development. I have been there. I know how it feels not to be motivated about life. I know how that feels. So the reason is this. As women, we are living in our masculine energy. We are living in our masculine energy for survival. Now, our bodies, this is how God designed us. Our bodies are not meant to be in masculine energy. Our bodies are not designed for masculine energy for a long time. They're not designed. We all need masculine energy. We all, men and women, we are all born with masculine energy and feminine energy. But as women, 80% we have feminine energy, meaning we're supposed to live and thrive in our feminine energy. But that's not the case. We are living in masculine energy for survival. We're living in masculine energy for survival. And this is what happened to me, and this is what is happening to a lot of people. We are not in our masculine energy because we want to. We are living in our masculine energy because we once felt, how can I say, we were once rebuked, right? Or reprimanded, or we once felt embarrassed for being feminine, for being a girl, for expressing how you feel, for being a woman. We were once rebuked, reprimanded for being a woman, for being a woman. Or someone once say, why are you being weak? Or why are you behaving this way? You have to toughen up, you have to be strong and be a hyper independent girl boss kind of woman. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with being a hyper independent girl bosses, but we need to know what have been, where and how, why and how. Why are we living in our masculine energy? For me, when I grew up, when I was young, I saw feminine role models who were supposed to be role models to me, my mother, my aunts. I witnessed them being abused physically and emotionally. You understand? So it felt like I need to protect myself. So I had to be in my masculine energy to defend myself, so that I witnessed when I was young, it does not happen to me. It doesn't happen to me. So I had to make sure that I am in my masculine energy. There was no time for me to be a girl. Being a girl, it didn't exist for me anymore, because at a young age, from 5, I experienced emotional abuse. I experienced and I witnessed physical and emotional abuse to women, which is feminine role models. People were supposed to be feminine role models to me, you know. So from a young girl, that what I've experienced, it told me, it actually said to me, I don't know if I'm using the right word by saying said, but by witnessing that, it made me to think that being feminine, being a girl is not, being a woman is not safe. So I had to hide my womanhood, my feminine energy. You understand? So a lot of women, we are living in our masculine energy to protect our heart. Our heart is our feminine energy. We are living in our masculine energy to protect our heart, for survival, to survive. We are hustling. We are trying every day to be men, go-getters. We're trying to be go-getters. We're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to achieve. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's not in our nature to do that. We're doing that for wrong reasons. There's nothing wrong when you want to have your own businesses. By all means, I have my own business. There's nothing wrong when you want to be financial free. But the energy behind that, it's very important. The energy behind that, behind your reason. For me, it was wrong. I wanted to be independent so that I don't depend on any man. Because men, which is masculine energy, for me, it was abuse. Men abuse women. Men abuse women. Beat up women. Physically abuse women. That was what I saw when I was young. You know, so there's a lot of reason. It could be a different case for you, but there's a lot of reasons why we are in our masculine energy, for survival. And most of the reasons, it's because we were once witnessed where feminine was being abused by masculine. So we ran away from being feminine. We ran to masculine energy for survival. But are we surviving? I hope I'm making sense with you ladies here. I am hoping that I'm making sense, because for me, it was abuse at a young age. And also growing up, also witnessing some of my aunts being hyper independent bosses, like being themselves, going out there not depending on any woman. I was actually told by my aunt that, Lavi, you must never ever depend on any man. So that what she was trying to say to me, it's not like she meant something bad. No. But for me, I took it as I have to be man myself. I have to be man myself because I cannot depend on any man. That means I have to be masculine. Our bodies are not designed to be in masculine energy for a long time. We are in our masculine for survival, and we are not surviving, ladies. We are not surviving. We are perishing day by day. Our bodies are crashing. My body crashed down 4 years back. Our bodies are not meant to be in masculine energy for a long time. This is what happens when you're in your masculine energy. You are in your survival mode. Being in your survival mode, meaning your body is on a fight or flight mode. A fight or flight mode, or a freeze response. Why? Because your brain sends a signal to your body that we are at war or we are being attacked. Your body is going to respond by being on a fight or flight mode, by being on a freeze response to protect you, to survive. You understand? So being in survival mode for a period of time, for a long period of time, is not helping. Survival mode, meaning you are in fear. You are living in anxiety and fear. That is survival mode, because you're living in your masculine energy, and because you're living in your masculine energy to survive. You are in a survival mode. I'm going to explain this. I think I've done in a few of my videos. Being in a survival mode, for you to understand it easy, let's say you are walking in a park, 10 steps away or 20 steps away, you see a lion. And then what's going to happen? You're going to run for your life. You're going to see the lion. Your mind's going to be like, we are in danger. Your body is going to switch into survival mode to run for your life, to survive, to run. Now, your body is going to switch into survival mode, and then you're going to outrun that lion, because why? Your body is on a survival mode. During survival mode, you cannot do anything. You cannot pee. You cannot do anything. Your body cannot digest. Your body cannot rest. Your body can't do anything. Why? Because you're in survival mode. Our bodies know exactly how to be in survival mode. That's how we are created. We know how to be in survival mode. Our bodies know how to do that, but it's only for a short period of time. We are meant to be in survival for a short period of time. Now, I don't want to miss on my points here, ladies, because I know. So what happens when you're in survival mode? You're living in fear. You're in survival mode. You're living in fear and anxiety. And that triggers the body's fight or flight mode. or freeze response, like I already said to you, ladies. Now, being on a survival mode for a long time, this is what happens to a lot of women. We are in depression, battling with depression, sleeping with tablets. We cannot sleep because we are in survival mode. That is why 80% of women are always depressed. Take this. If you can take one thing from this video, is that this video is, I'm making this video to address the reason why we are always in depression. We are always battling with depression, anxiety, and fear, because we are living in survival mode. We are living in fear. We are living in anxiety. We are not relaxed. Fear and anxiety triggers the body's fight or flight mode, which is a freeze response. That's what happens when you're in survival mode. Your body switches into survival mode because it got a signal from your mind that we are in danger. We are not in danger. There's no danger. Life is beautiful. The minute you heal out of survival mode, you go back to being a woman that God created you to be. You go back in living in your feminine energy. You're going to see that life is beautiful, but you have to heal out of survival mode. These are the side effects of living in survival mode for a long time. What happens is that you're going to have a weak immune system. Your body will how to say this? You're going to have a weak immune system, and your body won't be able to do its function properly. Your body won't do its function properly because you're in survival. You're not living, you're surviving. You are in survival mode. You cannot sleep properly. You cannot go to the bathroom to eliminate properly. You probably do that 2 or 3 times in a month. That's what happened to me. So it's going to increase chronic illnesses as well, and it's going to affect your mental health big time. So that is why we are battling with depression. That is why we are not motivated. We are discouraged. We are just not ourselves. We are dealing with a lot of things, a lot of depression, because we are not relaxed. We are on a freeze mode. We are in survival mode. By this, we cannot do anything. Our bodies cannot do anything, and this is actually killing us emotionally. That is why we're not ourselves. So understand that. And I think a few days ago, I was reading on a book of Peter. Listen to this. A book of First Peter refers to us women as weaker vessels. The book of Peter refers to us. Book of First Peter, chapter 3, verse 7, refers to us women as weaker vessels. Now, being a weaker vessel is in our nature. Being a weaker vessel is in our nature. Meaning, being a weaker vessel is us being feminine. Feminine is soft. It's soft. Feminine is loving. Feminine is nurturing. Feminine loves love. This is our nature. So there's no way God would refer to us, would say to us, we are the weaker vessels, and then us, we try to be the stronger people. No. Our bodies is designed to be feminine, to be soft. We are feminine beings. We are feminine beings. Being a weaker vessels means being a feminine being. That is our strength. That is our strength. I don't want to miss off my point here. Being a weaker vessel means being a feminine being that God created you to be. Being a weaker vessel means being a feminine being that God created you to be. Being feminine, being a weaker vessel is your strength. It is my strength. It's our strength. Being feminine is our strength. Being masculine is not our strength, it's our weakness. It's a weakness, it's our weakness being masculine. But being feminine, being a weaker vessel, which means being feminine, that is our strength. That is our superpower, our strength. Okay. I don't want to miss my points, ladies, because this is exciting. This is exciting. Okay. Like I said to you ladies, that we are in our masculine energy to survive. Why? Because we felt back then, maybe when we were young, we felt embarrassed. We felt like we're not going to be loved enough, maybe by our parents or by anyone who was closer to us, if we are expressing how we feel, if we're being women, if we're being girls, you know. So being a girl, being a woman was how can I say, was a weakness. We thought being a girl, being a woman is a weakness, and it's not a weakness. That is why we jumped into masculine, to protect our heart. Our heart is our soft nature. Our heart is our feminine energy. Our heart is our feminine. So we were protecting our heart so that we can fit in, so that we can belong in this world, because we're living in a masculine world, right? We're living in a masculine world that we cannot run away from. We're living in a masculine world, and in this masculine world, being masculine is praised. Every woman, they want to succeed, which is great. Succeed, want to achieve things, want to grow, and there's a lot of things that women are focusing on, which is nothing wrong with that, but we're doing that for wrong reasons. A man, masculine man, has to be a hunter. We are designed to receive. We are designed to receive. When we receive, we bloom. When we receive, we give birth. When we receive, we give birth to the life of our dreams. We receive a house. We give birth to a home. We receive a seed from a man. We give birth to a child. When we receive love and care and support, we give birth to the life of our dreams. And when you are being feminine, your man takes on a role of being a masculine man, because he knows that's how it's in their nature to go out there and hunt and provide for us. This is also why there's a high divorce rate, not only in South Africa, all over the world, all over Europe. There's high divorce rate. Why? Because you cannot put two bulls in a kraal. A wife is masculine, a man is masculine. No, we're gonna bust our head. It doesn't work like that. There can only be one bull in a kraal. That's just the truth, you know. And people, they don't know this. Women, they don't understand this. It's in our nature to desire to be loved. It's in our nature to desire to be taken care of. It's in our nature to desire to be provided for, to be supported. That's our nature. It's in our nature. I remember back then, a friend of mine, Indy used to say, you are way too masculine. At that time, I did not even know. And Indy would say to me, I got this, my boyfriend bought me this, my boyfriend got me that, my boyfriend bought me this. I didn't understand that. It didn't make sense to me. I did not. Why? Because I had to get things for myself. I had to do things for myself. I had to be independent and not depend or rely on any person. I'm not saying here rely on yourself. I'm not saying don't rely on yourself, rely on a man. No, you have to be able to provide for yourself. You have to be able to do things for yourself. But there must be the energy behind that. It cannot be the toxic energy. For example, the energy behind me wanting to provide for myself, wanting to be there, conquering the world for me. The energy was wrong. It was a toxic kind of energy, because I was like, because I don't want any man to abuse me. I don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't want to be bullied by a man. Instead, I want a man to come. I even thought having a successful business is actually what's going to bring men to me. No, honey, that does not bring any good men. It brings boys. Hyper independent girl bosses who are trying to get all things for themselves, focusing on their business. They can't have a healthy relationship with a healthy masculine man, because a healthy masculine man wants to provide for you and you're providing for yourself, meaning you're taking his place. A healthy masculine wants to put a roof over your head, wants to get things for you, wants to love you, but you are there competing with him. You are competing with him. That is not going to work. That is not going to work. What happened to me was like, I wanted to have everything that I wanted, to be independent. I don't even use that word nowadays. I'm not independent. I'm a wife. Back then I was so independent, depending on myself. So I thought by being able to provide for myself, by being able to do things for myself, I can get any man that I want. And I only attracted boys who were just taking and draining life out of me. And wanting to provide now for those boys, wanting to buy things for those boys. This is what women do. You want to buy things for a man, you want to provide for the man because you want this man to love you and commit to you. It cannot work. It doesn't work like that. And that is not a man, that is a boy. That is a toxic 5-year-old boy that you are with. A healthy masculine man does things for you. You only have to be in your feminine. Does this mean you're not going to do things for a man? No, you're going to do things for your man, but you know that there's only one leader and you're not going to take his place. Your income, if you're working or you have a business, it's not for you to do things. It's for you to do small things when there's something is missing at home. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. So ladies, if you can take one thing from this video, it's not a long video, it's actually it's a short video. I wanted to clarify, and hopefully that you're going to understand why we are battling with depression, why we are not at peace, why we are struggling. It's because we are living in our masculine energy, meaning we are living in survival. We are not living, we are not thriving, we are surviving. And being on survival mode, it's not good for our bodies because we're living in fear, we're living in anxiety, we're battling with depression, all these things because we're living in survival mode. So the only thing that you can take away from this video today is that living in survival mode is not good for your body. Wanting to be an independent go-getter, a woman who conquers the world to provide for yourself and for your family is great, but it has to be, how can I say it? I have a business. Everything that I do back then, before healing out of survival mode, my business didn't make any money. I was struggling. I was always chasing clients. I was always looking for clients. Because why? I'm in survival mode. The minute I healed out of survival mode, I don't have to look for clients. Clients come to me. I don't have to have sleepless nights thinking that I don't have money. If I don't have money today, it's not a big deal. I say I'm temporarily moneyless. It's not a big deal. It's just for now only. I'm not stressing about anything. My body said it does everything properly. Now I sleep 8 hours. I don't have to worry about anything. So please, ladies, with all the love, please decide to heal out of survival mode. I did explain the survival mode when I did make an example, the analogy of a lion chasing you. That is survival mode. That is what's happening to you, and it's not healthy for yourself. It's not. So the advice that I'm going to give you, when I discovered that I have been living in survival mode for almost 25 years, because this started when I was young, about 6. Now, when I discovered that I'm living I'm living in my masculine energy, which is I'm living in my survival mode. I'm in survival mode. I'm sorry, English, guys. So when I discovered that I am actually in survival, I'm living in survival mode. I'm always in my masculine energy. I've been masculine for survival. Survival mode was actually destroying me, because I remember I went to a doctor the other day, 4 years back, and the doctor gave me a prescription of people with epilepsy so that I can have sleep. I was not sleeping. I was not sleeping at all. It was hard for me to sleep. Why? I would sleep, but my mind is busy working because I'm in survival. The mind is looking for defense. How can we defend ourselves? How can the mind defend? It's looking for something to defend myself from this survival mode, right? Because when you're in survival mode, your mind is sending a signal to the body that we are being attacked. That is why the body switches into a freeze response or fight or flight mode. That is what happens. When I discovered that, what I did, ladies, and I hope you do this, what I did, it was in my journey, at the beginning of my journey, learning about feminine energy, masculine energy, and inner work. 4 years back, I was in the beginning of that. So what I did, I remembered, in fact, not like I didn't remember, but I decided to look at God, my creator, as a father that loves me because he does, a father that wants nothing but the best for me. So what I did was to look at him as a representative of a healthy masculine energy, because he is. I trusted him with everything, and I asked him to go on a journey with me to heal, because nobody knows better than him. Nobody understands what I went through when I was young. Nobody understands better than him. No therapy would understand better than he does, because he was there. He knows what happened to me when I was young. He knows the battle that I've been in since a young girl. God is our Father. So the first thing you can do is to know that you have a Father that loves you. You have a Father that loves you, a healthy masculine, which is God. So when I took on that decision, it became easier for me to heal, because everything that I did, I didn't have means for therapy at that time. I was broke. I couldn't afford the therapy. I couldn't afford anything. That is why God was my only solution. I did everything I did in the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I did everything in the name of Jesus. I started my healing journey now. I was learning about feminine energy and understanding feminine energy and masculine energy, and healing out of survival mode. Because ladies, the only way to live a peaceful life, to overcome depression, to overcome all these things, all these small headaches, everything that we are battling with, and to be free of sleeping with tablets, we have to heal out of survival mode. You have to heal out of survival mode. Be free, so that your body can be able to do everything properly. There's nothing you can do when you're in survival mode. You cannot heal. You cannot read a book. You cannot sleep properly. You cannot do anything. You have to heal out of survival mode and go back to where you're supposed to the person that you're supposed to be, the weaker vessel. The weaker vessel, which is being on your feminine. Being in your feminine is your superpower. That is your strength. When I healed out of survival mode, I embraced my feminine energy. I brought it back to life, because it has been there. It's there. It's there. Your feminine energy is in you. It's buried because of we living in a masculine world. When I healed out, everything became easy, because I understand my body. I understand myself, that I'm a feminine. I don't have to work hard. I work smart. I'm not saying don't work. I'm not saying don't have a business. I'm not saying don't do anything for yourself. But the energy behind that cannot be toxic. If the energy behind you hustling is because you want to be able to provide for yourself so that you don't depend on any man, that is toxic. You are working and hustling for yourself because you are worthy and deserving of a comfortable lifestyle. You are worthy and deserving of a soft life. You are worthy and deserving of everything on God's green earth. That is a healthy reason for you to go out there and work. Now, the energy behind you working, if it's like that, it's soft. It's not toxic. You're gonna be able now to attract a healthy masculine man that is gonna do things for you. Why? Because you know, and he will know. You're not gonna attract a toxic man. When you're out of survival mode, you are healed. You are not toxic anymore. You attract who you are. You're going to attract a healthy masculine man that is going to provide for you, that is going to support your mental health, that is going to support everything, that is going to support you emotionally. And now you are receiving, because feminine is designed to receive. We are the weaker vessel. Like the book of Peter says, we are the weaker vessel. We're supposed to be loved by men. We're supposed to be protected. We're supposed to be provided for. But it starts with you, Lavi. It has to start with you. Give to yourself. Give yourself healing. Heal out of survival mode. Give yourself love. Love yourself. Remember, inner work is working with a 5-year-old girl that went through a lot of traumas within you. A 5-year-old little girl that experienced abuse as a young girl, emotional abuse as a young girl. If you grew up witnessing your mom being beaten up, that was not supposed to be done. That is not how you raise a child. Inner work is healing that 5-year-old, because now as a bigger girl, you're looking for attention, you're looking for men, you're looking for love. The minute you look for love, you're not going to find love. The minute you feel worthy and deserving of love, you're going to attract love, because you are love. The minute you are looking for love, you are looking for money, it's the same thing. Love and money is going to run away from you, because love is not meant to be chased. Money is not meant to be chased. I always make an analogy of a cat. If you run after the cat is going to run away from you. If you pursue the cat will leave and run away from you. But when you're sitting in your couch, minding your own business, reading your book, watching your TV show, that cat will come and sit next to you, if not in your lap. That is love. That is money. You have to be the safe space for money. You have to be the safe space for love. How do you do that? Heal out of survival mode. Heal out of survival mode. Learn your self-worth. Understand that being a weaker vessel, which is being a feminine being, is your strength, is your superpower. It is not a weakness. And being a masculine being, as a woman, if you are in your masculine, you're living in your masculine, that is actually your weakness. So ladies, I am hoping that this video is making sense to you. If it doesn't, I always attach my email at the bottom. You can talk to me. I can be there for you, talk to you. I do small sessions with private sessions. You can call me and we can have a live session, like just a conversation to help you. So I do life coaching only for women. All right, so I am hoping that this is going to help you, and I'm hoping that this is making a lot of sense, and I'm hoping that this is you understanding. I'm hoping that this makes, how can I say this? I am so excited, I don't even have words. I'm hoping that you're going to find value in this video, and I'm hoping that it's going to make sense to you. And I pray to God that you're going to you will decide to heal out of survival mode. I made a video on what is actually happening in survival mode. I'm going to attach the video so that you can go through it. And then if you see the signs that are in survival mode, because you cannot keep on always being in depression, always being stressed, always when all the time, that means you're in survival mode. That is one of the signs. Or you're attracting the same kind of man with a different name. Toxic attract toxic. You understand? There is something wrong. You need to heal out of survival mode. And I love you so much, ladies. I love you, and I'm gonna see you on the next video. Guys, my remote, I need a new remote.